Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Age of Fire. This is the mine Tungar. Out in the distance is the volcano Tromen. In reality, we are completely surrounded by volcanoes. This, of course, is the remains of an old seabed, and the distance, it looks close, but it's really not. By foot, it would be several days' travel to Volcano de Mojo. Out in the distance, you can see it still has a little bit of snow on it because of the elevation. This is asphaltite. It's one of the reasons we're here. We're here for a lot of riches that this part of the world has to offer. We're at the foothills of the Andes. Chile is just over those mountains. This is a very, very old volcano. This is La Teta. It's eroded, it's fractured, it's essentially falling apart. It's quite different than the young volcano, Tromen, which erupted the last time in 1914. The Tungar has a very rich history. The Spanish were the first to exploit the mine, and the Germans the second during the Second World War. Remains of the encampment are all around us. This is part of a tile roof. This is part of a plumbing system, ceramic pipe, a concrete floor tile, and the remains of a railroad for the mining cars to come from the mouth of the mine. This is the entrance to the mine that the Germans built. It has a 37-degree inclination, which indicates that they were going deep into these hills beyond in order to get to their pay zone. The mine was exploded. It's quite obvious how they exploded it and the results of it. If I'd like to show you around a little bit, so follow me to the Tungar. This is the termination of the mine entrance, or the mine edit. As you can see, it's been filled in, and the rubble is quite small, indicating a large explosion. The population, the inhabitants around here, some of the older ones can still remember when it exploded. This is the end of the tunnel, the mine edit. This is the vein of the mine, one of the main veins. You can follow it from place to place up this little channel between these hills. The work up to this point since the Second World War has only been done with pick and shovel. You see the upper strata right here, and you see the flow where it comes from below. That's the reason for the mine inclination. There's quite a few of these structures, as you see here. They dot the landscape, headed up the length of the main vein. It's easy to see that large crane type, gantry type structures were here in order to, one, pull the ore out, and two, to provide points of escape. This is a little bit of a representation and a close-up of the vein as it makes its way from its source to the valley below. It was a huge flow. Two flumes, La Yacera 1 and La Yacera 2, came up, poured into the landscape, and flowed all the way down to a lake called Alquinco, where there's several manifestations that are capillary type vein structures that are being worked down there also. We're making our way up the vein from the mouth of the mine, showing some of the work that's been done here. Here's a piece of iron ore. It's actually very pretty, but we've still got a ways to go to get to the end of this vein. Asphaltite in its pure form is actually very beautiful. You see, we're moving our way up the vein. There's the entrance to the mine where we started. We're almost at the top of the hill. And you can see that there's very little overburden before you start hitting pay zones.